Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at my July progress for HRCYED 1.0 and 3.0. 2.0 is officially a wrap, so we'll cross that one off the list of simultaneous HRCYED reads for the last 2 years. I'm still working on getting 1.0 completed. I did not finish it in time, as I mentioned in my last HRCYED update. I wanted it to be done by mid-year so that I could start 3.0 fresh with only one challenge going in this sphere, I guess you could say. But that did not happen. Life happened, and that's all right. So 3.0 started on schedule, and 1.0 is now slated to be completed over a 12-month period as originally planned for by the author of the challenge, rather than a 6-year compressed schedule, so that I could check it off the list and have my completionist heart fulfilled. So let's go ahead and do a quick-ish update. It is going through 2 different HRCYED challenges, so unfortunately that does mean a bit of time frame just to get through it all. Let's go ahead and jump right on in. This month for HRCYED 1.0, completed 5%, taking us up to 81% total completed. I have a couple of boxes that are now checked off that were not before, so we'll hopefully start seeing these boxes fill very quickly over the next few months and get more and more pink. So next up is going to be Alphabet Challenge. No changes, but there are 6 letters left, and you'll note that there I have an I here, if I can speak. There's an I. I have another I that needs to be done that I'll point out later. I'm going to need several I recommendations, so I will just go ahead and mention that now. But I also need an A, a Q, a Y, and a Z. Blurbs on books, haven't done anything additional on. Same for AuthorTuber books, but Serpent and the Siren and Truth of the Divine are officially on my active rotation of books, so those ones should be done in August. Series. Technically, I am completely done with the series because the Bonds That Tie books only go through Unbroken Bronze. Bonds, not bronze. But Broken Ties is in the same universe. There's also a short story, it sounds like, that's out there that I need to track down. So I'm counting at least the novel on my page here before I check off the series being completed, even though the actual series itself is done and I could check off the series. Like, it's just one more book. May as well get it completed because I know in my heart of heart that I'm going to finish it because completionist. And also, I'm really enjoying this series. I have 2 of the books on here are 4 stars, which is fairly uncommon for me, especially with anything that is in the romance genres. This is a Why Choose series that is paranormal with shifters and magic and a civil war that is happening within the paranormal community. They don't call themselves paranormal community, but I can't remember what they call themselves in my brain at the moment. But it is essentially the paranormal community. And yeah, so there's this action stuff going on and all the craziness there, and then a lot of really like gripping, there's tragedy that's happening to these people and they have a lot of trauma to get through, and how they work together and become a family it's really lovely. I enjoyed it. Would I say that it is the absolute best book ever written or series? Maybe not, but they are definitely living in my memory pretty regularly, and then I was thinking about them as I was working my way through, thinking, I wonder how they're going to finish up that storyline, and I wonder how they're going to close this up, and I think that I'm right on how this is going to happen, but what about, and all that kind of stuff. So it very much was living in the background of my head, so therefore 4 stars, especially for the 2 books you see here. But the series as a whole, I would probably round up to a 4-star series. All right, small booktubers, have not completed anything here yet, but Shield of Sparrows I'm about 75% done with, so we'll count that as nearly done, and it will be an August book. Okie dokie, no changes, no changes. I mentioned so I have Iron Widow here, but I have Iron Widow in 3.0 as well, which I'll point out there when we get there. And I'm going to need to either change Iron Widow out on my periodic table one or on my Spell Your Name. And I think that it'll be easier to do it here where I just have to pick any book that starts with an I rather than find another one that has an element in the title. So if you have any ideas for let me know because I need 2 of them. Or if you have really amazing periodic table related books, also let me know on those ones too, because I still have a few that I need to fill in, whether I do Iron Widow or not for that one. I have finished the Spiffbo non-finalist page, which is exciting. I read Liches Get Stitches, which is the first book in a series of the same name by H.J. Tolson. I went in not knowing if I would like this series because it was described as horror, comedy, fantasy, like the intersection of all 3. And it's a shorter book compared to some of the books that I read, especially in the fantasy realm. So I wasn't sure that that was going to be my cup of tea. But I had a really good time cleaning my house and listening to this book. It was really fun. Yeah, I suggest it. It's cute. 3 stars. Okie dokie. Nothing changing over here. Still have to get Phantasma checked off the list. Same. Haven't finished that one yet either. I have finished the genre challenge though. I picked up Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut finally. While it was not my favorite, literary fiction tends to not be super high ranking on my pickup for a good time situation. I do understand how it relates politically and culturally to our world, both historically and currently, and for that I am glad that I read it, even though I didn't find it particularly like a fun read. So I think my husband would probably like this one a little bit more than me, but I tend to have some trauma related to military and that type of stuff. So it wasn't a super fun time for me, even though it doesn't like get into most of the stuff that are problematic for me. It's still, I was like, felt I was on edge a little bit more than I would have preferred to be. If I read it again, I feel like I will get more out of it because I will be listening for more of the cultural stuff and interesting parts about the story that I think that I maybe glossed over a little bit more because I was thinking more about the military elements and the political side of things than I was thinking about sort of the almost sci-fi-ish elements that were here and there, and I was like, what's up with that? I feel like if I read it again, I'll be able to focus in on new things, but it won't be one I probably read again super soon. I'll likely put this on a list to eventually reread, though. So yeah, 3 stars. All right. Continue on. You can see we've got lots of check marks. And now we're moving into 3.0, which I did a little bit more on. 13% this month. Didn't make any changes here or here, but there's iron. See, I told you I have some extra spaces I still need to fill. And if I change out Iron Widow and 2 more on here so that I have all of those 3 spaces filled, then I can use the eye, but I'll still need 1 more eye. So either way, I need some eye suggestions and periodic table suggestions. So please, assistance would be lovely. I'm finding it difficult to find books that sound like up my alley that have elements in them, and I don't think that that's because they're not out there, just because I have to think of the element and then go search the element and go through the list, so it feels a bit tedious. So I'm doing it while I'm watching TV or at like doctor's offices and things like that, but suggestions are always wonderful compared to sitting through that and scrolling for hours. So Full Silver, I'd planned on reading in July, but I had a bunch of books come up available on my library app, and I was like, well, I don't want to put them on off if they're at the library so I can knock them out fairly quickly, and it just kept getting pushed. Also, there's another book coming after this one. It's not going to be a duology. It sounds like it's going to be a trilogy based on what I saw. I had an Instagram post about the first one in this series, and so I clicked in to like leave my 2 cents about the first one, and I saw that it had been replied that there was going to be another one, and I was like, well, if I read it now, I'm still going to have to wait. I don't know how long till I get the next book, so I will make myself hold off on this one a little longer, because either way, I'm still probably going to be wondering what happens at the end, yeah? I was a little bit, what are we going to call that word? I don't know. I was in a mood that day. But either way, I plan on finishing this one. I've already checked it out from, whatever you call it, from Kindle Unlimited. It's on my phone. I'm going to the doctor next week. Hopefully next week. And I plan on reading that one while I'm there because I'll be physical reading rather than a lot of audiobooks that I do like in the car and around the house and things like that. So I'll get myself almost an hour of just physical read time because I have to, by the time you like get your appointment and yada, 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 probably about an hour. So get started on that one. I'm excited. Familial Terms. I have found this one difficult to find books for. Again, it's just that type in the word, search, see if there's anything on the lists that I already have, or etc. I have found a few that I think will fit potentially, but if you have suggestions, let me know. One of the books that I found in my Kindle library, like I didn't know I owned this book, and it looks really cute, but it's only like 200 pages. So I'm like, is that... I mean, yeah, I think that's technically into novel, just in the short novel. It's not considered a novella at that point if it's 200 pages. Pretty sure. But it is a short one, so it should be a fairly quick read. So I'll get one more on here in the next couple of months just from that, but I still need 2 more. Regional, haven't done anything on this one yet, but I did check off 3 books for Choose Your Curriculum in the month of July. They all came up 3 stars, which is liked, and would recommend for someone who is specifically looking for something in that subgenre, or yeah, that's probably much I would say. And I may reread it, but probably not. So first one was music, which was Blind Attraction by Eden Summers. And for English, I chose Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And then PE, Sticks and Stone, which, as you can tell, hockey romance. Road trip, I was really surprised that I did not get any on this page naturally in July. And then I went back and looked at my list. And the reason I didn't get anything here is because if it wasn't already counted for somewhere else on HRCYED, it was happening in space or globally somewhere not anywhere near me. Like usually there was one in the UK, I believe, and then Spain? No, Greece. So I didn't actually, I don't know, I thought Spain. I have no idea. My brain, man, it's been a long day. Anyway, so I don't have anything because they didn't fit the thing, fit the prompt, or they fit somewhere else. I was using it there already. So maybe we'll have something here for August. We'll see. But I still am not concerned about it. Not so secret prompts. I did knock out half of these, just about. Lust Crusade makes half, and that one I have finished. I just finished it in August. Today is August 4th when I'm recording, and I just finished it yesterday. So it is very cute. I liked it, but we'll talk about that in August update. So all of these, again, 3-star books. I enjoyed them. I think my favorite on here was probably Hot for Hostage. I think I mentioned it before, maybe, but it does get a little slow at times, but it is quite funny at the same time. A lot of things are sort of turned on their head a little bit in this comedic romance. I do wish it was a little bit shorter, and normally I am not one to say make something shorter, but I feel like for this particular storyline, it went a little longer than it should have at certain parts, and it could have been more enjoyable at a little bit shorter amount of pages. So you'll see Score to Kettle and English After Doom Tea. Also with Scream and Sugar on the next page. All three of those are in the same book series, and I had it on my phone, and I don't remember how long I've had it on my phone, but I went ahead and I had already had those first three, so I read all three, and I very much enjoyed this series. I will probably read more in it. I think there's like somewhere between at least 8, if I remember from when I was looking. I was looking at it rather late in the evening, so I don't have it all stuck in the brain, but there were quite a few. And essentially, there is a, I believe she's American woman who moved to the UK, and she got married, basically created her entire life around her husband. She worked for her husband's company, and, you know, she was there on a spousal visa and all that jazz. And then right before her visa was set to renew, they got divorced. And so she was trying to like rebuild her life, and part of that was she needed to have a job like immediately. Well, she decided if she was going to be looking for a job, and she really wanted to stay in the UK, she was going to go ahead and go to where the home of her ancestral magic, because she was a witch, but she'd never really learned anything about her magical powers, because she didn't live anywhere where that ancestral home is, and she didn't have anyone to teach her. So she moved here, and she's looking for work. She ends up finding a job, you know, as you can tell here, it's all tea related, at a tea shop run by a vampire. And vampires are on the hush-hush. I guess technically witches are too, but witches know about vampires, and vampires know about witches. Anyways, she works there, and she's dealing with witch stuff and vampire stuff and roommate stuff and post-divorce stuff all at the same time as she's solving murders. Yeah, so it's a murder mystery, whodunit kind of situation, but with the fun and whimsy of almost cozy fantasy-esque vibes. I enjoyed it. I read each of these fairly quickly. I mean, they are fairly short books. They're not like super, super long. I want to say they're all under 300 pages, at least these three that I have read. But I may be... That was obviously on my iPad. So they are a lot. There's a lot of words on there. Maybe it was a little bit longer if it was like on my phone or something. But either way, enjoyed them. Would suggest. So cover styles. Going over to the other one that was in that series. I'm almost done with this one. I got 3 done. I have 1 more to do, and I think I found one that will fit here that's already on my TBR, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet. We'll see. But I did illustrated, foliage, or floral, and landscape. Ask for Andrea was a suggestion from a friend of mine, and we got to chatting about it at the last weekend. I went to an event for the region for barbershop singing. I'm a barbershop singer, and it was my roommates and I. We refer to ourselves as the book club because we started rooming together, and then we started talking about books late into the evening. Imagine that! And we found out we have similar interests in books, and now we're actually like reading books once a quarter as an official like book club. But we also, it's the book club. We're rooming together as the book club. Anywho's, this was a suggestion from one of the ladies in the book club, and it was really good. It's a thriller, and part of it definitely is thriller, but it's also a ghost story. In that there are ghosts who are helping to catch a serial killer-ish. I don't want to get too much into it because there's a lot, but I enjoyed it. I have at least one other person in the book club who plans on reading this one. So, yeah, we both recommend it. It's pretty fun. All right, titular counting. I've got 4 completed, and I have 1 more that should be completed in August for sure. The other ones, as they come up, I'm just throwing them on here. This is one of the ones that's not being really planned for. It's if it doesn't have somewhere to fit, check here. So I read Shift by Karina Espinoza, Harvest Season by Bryn Weaver, The Billionaire Bachelor by Jessica Lemon, and Susan Break the Curse, which is book 3 in Loretta Hignett's Welcome to Midlife Magic, which I've already talked about quite a bit of this one. I have one more to go, and I have another friend who's also reading this book series. She is around the world at the moment, though, so I'll have to schedule time where we're both awake and not going to wake our respective partners up by talking at like 2 in the morning at either one of our times. So once I finish the series and she's finished the series, we will have a chat. And I'm sure that we will have all kinds of things to say because she's already sent messages and been like, da 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 da. And I'm like, da 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 da. But when I chat about this book. So if you've read it also, let me know and what you thought about it for sure. I think it's great. As I mentioned before, looking forward to number 4. Okie dokie. HRCYED mashup. I don't have anything here yet, but last night I was searching for books, and I think I've got 4 of the 5 potential options figured out. The way I'm leaning right now is going with Rainbow Challenge mashed up with Subgenre Challenge. That's where I'm leaning at the moment. What are you guys doing? Is there any other combination that is just like amazing, should definitely do? Because if so, maybe I'll switch. I haven't started it yet. Numerical titles, haven't done anything here yet, but I have been looking for ones to go on here for 4, 5, 7, and 10. Haven't found any on my TBR or in my Kindle library. Like I did a couple other ones I mentioned. It's like, I didn't even know I had this on my library. Those haven't come out for any of these 4 yet. So if you have suggestions, let me know. Rainbow, haven't done anything yet, or in addition, since the last time we chatted on this one either. All right, so Animal Families. I got 1 book completed and 1 started. I do read several books at a time because I am a bit of a mood reader. But I read My Emergency Contact is a Wolf Shifter by Roxy Ray, and I did enjoy it. And I started Accidentally Accurate. Feel a little bit bad on this one because I keep starting it and then falling asleep, and I don't think it has anything to do with this story. I haven't even gotten far enough into the story for it to matter, unfortunately. I think that it is just that I have not been sleeping super well, and this is the time of year when my air conditioner is doing the mostest, and it is like cool, but I also feel warm because, you know, they got the blankets, and it's like super dark for some reason, like it's feeling really dark. I don't know if I've like accidentally covered a nightlight or something somewhere in a space, because we have night lights so that I don't like trip or accidentally step on an animal that's like sleeping on the floor if we get up in the middle of the night. But yeah, it's been like perfect. And so I start listening to a book and I'm like comfy in bed, and then before I know it, I'm awake in the morning and I'm like, fabulous. But anyway, I'm happy about that I'm finally getting some sleep, but I'm sad that it is at the expense of not getting into this book. So I just need to find some time to sit down and get this one knocked out, because I feel like it's going to be cute. I mean, I have read other books, you know, the same author, and I did like it. So I want to get this one knocked out in August. Alrighty then. So moving on to biomes. I didn't do anything. Speaking of biomes, I started working on this one yesterday or the day before, sort of just thinking about like, what biomes do I want to start looking in? Does it make sense for me to use this one as in like the road trip one, where it's like, okay, well, if it doesn't fit anything else, then look and say, okay, well, where did it take place? Does it have a biome that we could use? Is that how we want to do that? I'm not sure. Right now I'm leaning towards potentially, at least for the first couple, because I think it'll be harder to do once I've already got a couple of the more standard ones checked off. But I don't know yet. we'll see. I haven't done anything here yet. For remix, I was originally going to do all of these guys that were by Holly Roberts, plus one additional one that was by Marissa Mayer, and I still plan on reading the Marissa Mayer one, but I found out that I had missed one that was already out, which was Hooking Tank. So I added this one on there and did read it as well as Chasing Goldie, because Chasing Goldie, I believe, is number 3? Yeah, 3 in this series, I think. And then Hooking Tank was 3.5, and then Igniting Signature was 4 or 5. I think that's what it was. It was either 2 and 3. Anyway, this was the halfway point, so I read it so that I could move on to the next one. And my thought is that some of the characters we met in this one at one of the nights out that are mentioned are probably going to be in these other books as we continue the series. But I will say that this particular one was a lot less plot and a lot more spice than the rest of the series, because this was a novella, technically, compared to the other ones being full novels. So just be aware, if that is not your jam, then you are probably going to want to skip that one. The others are definitely spicy, but that one was just like all the spices. Lots and lots of spicy. Just because literally, like, I would say maybe 25 to 30% at least was spice in this novella. So just being aware. All right, Food Pyramid, I haven't done anything on it yet. I've been keeping an eye out as I'm like looking around if I see anything, but I haven't come across anything yet that's like a vegetable or a meat or a bread, that type of stuff. But if I see something, I'll put it on here. I'm not going to focus on this one just yet, though. Mother Nature, I think for now, this is going to be another one of the ones where I just say, hold on, doesn't fit anywhere, does it have weather on the cover? Though, I already have at least 2 books that I know I want to read sometime soon-ish that would fit on this page. If they don't fit anywhere else, better, then they'll definitely end up here. I'll say that. Okie dokie. I also started working through this one, but haven't really made a whole lot of progress on finding books for it. I started making sort of lists. I now know what my flower is and my tree and all of that stuff, but I don't have book recommendations yet. So hopefully at the end of maybe August or September, I'll have this all filled out, or at least have a few more ideas. But if you are an Aries, born in April, let me know what some of your ideas are. Backlist, haven't really done anything here yet. These are just potential options. All of these books are ones I plan on reading. So I believe Shadow's End, I want to get that one done in August, potentially. We will see. If I have enough time, it's on my list. And I haven't done anything here yet. Or here. I took one off of this page, the one that was right in the middle, because I already had used it elsewhere. So I could not use it for second chances. I have a couple others I can probably look at, because anytime I don't finish something or I put it on a DNF, I have like a list for those, so I can go in and find another one to go here. But Into the Cold Fire and Spoiler Alert will probably be the next ones I finish out of the ones here, just because those are ones that I have much more an easy chance to just put my hands on. Shatter Me, I'm going to need to wait for that one to come available. And Forbidden Freshman, I can get it in a ebook form, but that's the one I ended up putting down and kind of not picking back up. So I did check, and my library has the audio version now when they didn't before. So I may wait and try to get that one on audio to see if I am more like captivated by the audio. Sometimes one version, one format is a little bit easier than the other, but either way, it'll be a few months probably before I get to that one, just because I have such a long list on my TBR at the moment, unfortunately. I mean, it's not unfortunate because I am glad that I have so many amazing books that are out there that I can enjoy, but with there being such a long list on my TBR and all of my other obligations, meaning I have a little bit less time to read now than maybe I would love to or like to, then it's a little bit of a bummer. So I'm like, oh, but if I had like 3 more hours a week, I can't get any more books into my schedule, unfortunately. I'm reading a lot already. So all of our side quests, I already mentioned this one, I believe earlier, that I was going to be reading this one. I still haven't decided if I'm doing a board blessing or a prompt spell because it fit for both. And then the August one was already announced, and I haven't really done anything with this one just yet. So I either need a book with blood on the cover or with ice or something frozen on the cover. And I have something that is ice or something frozen that I can fit here. But if I can find something with both ice and blood, that I can do the same thing I did last time. But it's not going to be something that I make myself look for, because I feel like that's going to be a little bit difficult to find something that's got, maybe not, maybe I could find something that's got like a snowy setting, but like a battle. That would probably have blood. But anyways, that's my thought there, is that I'm likely going to go with the ice or something frozen because I already have one that'll fit there. But I enjoyed having both options. Anyways, let me know what you're reading for this one in August, and I will see you guys later. Bye!